Hey guys, what's up? It's Mo for Upswing Poker, and today I'm going to start a new series of play and explain videos. And in this series, I'm going to review a deep run that I've had during Scoop. And to be precise, it is the 215 million from the first Sunday, so first Scoop day basically, that I was fortunate enough to make the final table at. So we're going to be reviewing that, and after the first couple of hands that I've reviewed with you guys, I will also be joined by Doug, so you guys can look forward to seeing Doug in this video series as well. But we're going to do the first couple of hands by ourselves, and then at later stages, Doug is going to join us. So we're starting with big blind 300 and a 50k starting stack, so we're about like 170 big blinds deep or something, so we're pretty deep. And we don't really have any recognizable players on my table. I recognize one or two names, but as you can assume, that is a pretty big field, and I don't think it was a re-entry, so a lot of players will be not super great players and very many recreationals. And a lot of people taking shots in that tournament, which is obviously fine because it's a really great tournament to get deep in. And therefore, we can expect a couple of very exploitative plays and very interesting lines that I took. But I'm really looking forward to review this tournament. So let's start and go ahead right away. First hand we're playing is Pocket Queens. We do 2.5x. I do raise a little bigger here just because of the deep stack sizes, so I prefer to open a little bigger. Get flatted by the hijack, the cutoff, and the big blind, so four-way pot. This is generally a hand that I would typically c-bet most often just because it's an overpair, of course. It doesn't block a jack, which are like the strongest hands or most likely call down on hands like ace jack, king jack, for example. And therefore, this makes a really good c-bet. However, I felt like that check raising is also really good because there's no real two-pair combinations, and I deny a lot of equity, especially playing against three players. And also, I feel like that out of position, my c-betting frequency generally should be fairly low, even on this pretty dry structure. So I would most often c-bet this hand, but I think in this case, I decided to go for a check. And the in-position player bets pretty much half pot, which doesn't indicate a lot of strength. It indicates probably a pair, most likely a jack, of course. I could have fives and threes, could even have jacks sometimes, but pretty unlikely because I would three with those pre, right? And big blind folds, and now it's on us. And I decided just because of the half pot size and the quick bet that I remember, that check raising would probably be more efficient here than check calling, just to generate a lot more value off a jack. And as I said, I'm expecting a lot of recreationals in that field that are probably unlikely to fold a strong hand, even against a check raise in a four-way pot. So I went for a check raise. First caller folds. This guy calls. Now the 8 is an okay card. He's not going to have a lot of jack-8 combos. He's not going to have like 5-8 or something. So the only hand that improves is 8s. And therefore, we're just going to bet again. He calls rivers of 4, completes 6-7, which like somewhat makes sense for both of us. But I don't think it changes the board structure very much. I don't really expect him to call 4-5 on the turn, so I don't think he has a lot of two-pair combinations here. I think his most likely hands are still Jack X, and then of course some of the sets, so 8s, 5s, and 3s. But generally, I think we are ahead of his range, and given the SPR that I set up nicely here for a river shove to get called by a lot of combos like Ace Jack and King Jack, I went for it and I got called. Surprisingly, not by a jack, but by pocket 7s, so he definitely didn't believe me, and was very eager to stack off with a very weak hand, even though it was a four-way pot, so probably a little too loose on his side there. Okay, that's great. So we nearly doubled up in basically the first hand that we played. Debatable on the flop to check or bet, but I think it worked out great.